Who made India the world's largest producer of milk? The answer is very simple. It was Dr. Verghese Kurien. Of course, Verghese Kurien had two people who helped him. One was Seth Tribhuvan and the second was Lal Bahadur Shastri, but the genius was that of Verghese Kurien. I had the benefit of watching and meeting Verghese Kurien while he was alive in the 1990s. I went to Anand in Gujarat to meet him, and for me that was one of the most memorable meetings. I met him several times thereafter, but the first meeting was amazing. In that meeting, Verghese Kurien explained to me why India was destined to become the world's largest producer. Destined? And to understand that, you must listen to what Verghese Kurien asked me. And incidentally, this entire anecdote of Verghese Kurien is given in that book. Verghese Kurien asked me, Bhaskar, how many people are there in India? This was the 1990s. And I said, around 850 million. He said, yes, you're right. And what is the staple food of most Indians? I thought and I said, it is rice, it is wheat, and vegetables, sometimes meat. And Kurien smiled benignly. And he said, yes, you're right. Rice and wheat are the staple food for most Indians. Sometimes there's barley, sometimes there's jawar, sometimes there's corn, but rice and wheat is the majority. He says, now do you know something special about rice and wheat? I said, what? He said, you know, that for every kilo of rice or wheat, you have 4 kilos of chaff, bhusa, the waste material, the straw. He says, that waste material, that straw, is for cattle. In India, because every government has to make sure that people have enough food to eat, the production of straw will be an automatic byproduct. Because of that reason, India will be the lowest cost producer of cattle feed and therefore of milk. In Western countries, you have to grow food specially for cattle. That's a cost. In India, there's no cost. Of course, you can sell it at a price, but in terms of costing, India is the lowest cost producer of cattle and cattle feed. I said, wow. And so I thought and I said, sir, but what about China? And he laughed. He said, yes, you're right. China has many people. And China also, the staple food is rice. But there, God has been kind to India. In China, people cannot digest milk. India loves milk. India is destined to become the world's largest producer. That was an amazing lesson I got in competitive strategic advantage that a country can have. And then Kurien said, wait, the story does not end here. India can become the largest producer, but that will depend on 2 factors. The first factor is you must take care of the farmers. And the second factor is, to take care of the farmers, you have to make sure that nothing interferes with the price that the farmer gets for the milk. And how to protect the price that the farmer gets for the milk? Very simple, he said. You'd make sure that imports do not come in and destroy the price stability that India has. I began to understand this man was talking about something absolutely brilliant. And then he said, remember 3 things. When it comes to the milk producer, the milk processor, and the milk marketing man, who is the most important? I said, obviously, it's the farmer. If the farmer does not produce milk, the other 2 are not required. That is why the farmer's interest must be protected first. And so what did Kurien do? First, he started the concept of milk cooperative. where every farmer could sell his milk directly to the cooperative and get money for the milk the same evening. Before Kurien came on the scene, farmers would get the money from the person who was selling the milk sometimes a week later, sometimes a month later, and the farmer had no choice. If he does not sell it to the seller, then the milk will get spoilt. Kurien showed a way, one, that he would buy the milk through a guarantee, and two, he would get a fair price for the milk, and three, he would get money the same day. For a poor man, daily cash flow is important. When he gets the cash, he can buy oil, he can buy toothpaste, he can buy whatever the house needs. The small man cannot plan expenditure 6 months later. He needs money now. So he started a milk cooperative, and that's where Tribhuvan Seth helped him. And the milk cooperative became a raging success. And that was when Lal Bahadur Shastri, the Prime Minister of India, decided to come to Anand to see what miracle Kurien was creating. So he came to Anand and saw with his own eyes how the farmers looked after, how the farmer got a fair price, and how the farmer did not lose money. And so he was very impressed with Kurien and said, ask what you want. And Kurien said, I want only one thing. I want to start a milk development company, which he called NDDB, National Dairy Development Board. He said, I want to be in charge of that NDDB to protect farmers' interests, not just in Anand, but across the whole of India. And Shastri said, done. He went back to Delhi, gave instructions, and NDDB was created with Kurien as a chairman, and Kurien created this company not to make money. He took just a token salary of 1 rupee. He believed that the farmer was more important than anything else. And what did NDDB do? Whenever there was a gift packet of milk coming from overseas, because overseas there was a glut in the market, they wanted to give it, and they gave it as a gift to India. The trouble with gifts is that when they're sold in the market, they depress prices and the farmer loses. So what Kurien did was, NDDB was created to first purchase, to take in all the gifts that came in, all the imports that came in, and they'd be released in the market only at market prices, so the farmer would not lose. That meant NDDB made some profits, and the profits were used for dairy development across the country. And Kurien said, just watch, India will become the largest milk producer, provided we do not import and sell at depressed prices in the market. The farmer saw that the milk prices were always constant. The farmer saw that he would not lose in milk prices. So the first year he had 1 cattle, 5 years later he bought a second cattle, third year, five years later he bought a third cattle. The number of cattle each farmer could buy kept on increasing and increasing, and India by 2001 became the largest producer of milk in the world. And that is why when I see farmers' agitations and politicians and economists saying MSP is a bad idea, MSP means minimum support price. What did Kurien do? He gave the farmer a guaranteed minimum support price. He didn't call it MSP, but he made sure that the price would not fall. And because the price would not fall, the farmer was confident in spending money in buying 1 more cattle. Today, almost 10 crore Indians have cows in the backyard. So for the small farmer who does not own land, he ties the cattle to a tree just behind his house. Morning he milks it, gives it to the cooperative, gets money. It is the main sustenance for most small farmers across India. The lot of farmers changed when Kurien introduced milk cooperatives, a guaranteed price, and an NDDB which made sure market fluctuations. In summer when milk production went down, he used milk powder to reconstitute the milk and sold the market so the prices would not go up. In winter months, when the surplus production, he took the extra milk and converted that to powder. And he kept the markets in perfect harmony. What Kurien did was amazing because he changed economics for the farmer. For the first time in India, the farmer got back at least 60%. In Anand and in Gujarat, they get as much as 85% of the market price of milk. In vegetables, the farmer gets only 10%. He said the farmer is more important. And when he started the cooperative, the marketing guy said, no, I can't sell it such low commissions. I want 1/3. Globally, 1/3 goes to the farmer, 1/3 goes to the marketing guy, and 1/3 goes to the processor. Kurien said, no, the farmer must get at least 60%. And then he made it go up to 80%. And because the farmer got more, he got more money. He grew his income more and more by adding cattle and looking after the cattle. Then Kurien went ahead and created a cattle feed facility. He created a dairy machinery facility. One by one, he created other equipment that the dairy farm would require. He changed economics. Unfortunately, the government is trying to forget him. They don't like Kurien because Kurien did not allow politicians to interfere with farmers or pricing. So today you'll find when NDDB has its functions, they don't show Kurien's face. When there was a celebration on the anniversary of the Operation Flood, they try to make people forget Kurien. But Kurien is there stamped in the memories of farmers. He has made India. And Lal Bahadur Shastri, who saw the absence of nutrition, food in India during the wars in the 60s, he's the man who coined the phrase Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, the two people who are responsible for the security of any country, one border security and the second food security. That is the story of Kurien. And you should remember this because the government tries to make you forget it. Thank you for watching this channel. This is a channel that brings to you stories that you may not have heard in the past. It talks about themes linked to policies. It talks about the welfare of the country. And some things that even politicians like to forget. But India, if it has to survive, needs to remember these legends because these legends inspire people. These legends tell you that a lot is possible in India. Do subscribe and keep abreast of everything that we talk to you about.